3, 2. Oh, yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. Also, I'll just take this time while you're taking a sip of your beer to tell everyone to please go straight to YouTube right now and see the shirt that Adam is wearing. Now, normally we are in our municipal gear. Today we're taking a day off just for that, but you still can shop municipal with code NOPUNS20, 20% off your first order. Just plug that municipal.com. But Adam had a busy work day today and didn't get to change his shirt, and had to be repping his own company. And so you were wearing a golden t-shirt that resembles one of those like old style cups that you used to get at like Costco. And by the way, before this, I had been going off on jokes, but that one came to me. And honestly, I'm going to interrupt this episode so much when I think of another joke for your shirt. It is an awesome shirt, by the way. I'm not making fun of it because I don't like it. I love it, and I love that you are wearing it specifically. I think it's great that you are just...
Yeah,
if I could explain to people your personality, where like, because you seem to be very professional and do things, by the book and stuff, but you've got like a really funny side, and I'm glad that people are getting to see that you are willing to express it with the shirt that you're wearing.
I appreciate that. Yes, so this is purple. This is a purple shirt. It's got golden tee here over the chest. It's got some pink stripes, some green stripes. It's like wearing the trade shows. They're teal. That's how you want to start this. Okay, fine. It's teal. It's loud. So when I wear these in public, it's I get different. Like when I wear my municipal gear, right? I got this a lot with like Mark Wahlberg. Like I get a lot of
people constantly say Mark Wahlberg things. Like, I have a lot of the stuff that has the big municipal across it. I wore it in an airport, and someone was like, Mark Wahlberg, and I was like, okay, cool. Someone commented on one of our posts. We had a post go viral, and there were some trolls and things in there as well. But somebody's like, she's wearing Mark Wahlberg's brand, LOL. And I was like, where have you been? Sponsored by. Proud of it, man.
We are the originals. Yes, this is a different flow. So when people see this, they look at it and they're like, what in the fuck? Okay, they're like, what, why? And then I think it kind of grows on people. They're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Yes. So this is the most obnoxious one. I wish I had some others laying around. Normally I do. We got some new ones in, but this is Miami Vice. This is like bowling alley carpet. I've been told that before.
Yes.
Like old bowling alley carpet.
A brighter version of the Portland airport carpet. That one's green, but this is like a brighter version of that pattern for sure.
So but it is my vibe today. It's college football's vibe.
It is actually. There's complete and utter chaos and unrest.
It is. But it's like the different kind of like, so the games take a breath.
Yeah.
We hand out a Heisman and then we go. Mm-hmm. And the sport meanwhile is losing its fucking mind. Like the sport now collectively through the portal and even recruiting, which I always forget this time of year, is losing its goddamn mind. And I frankly am 100%.
Yeah, it's kind of absolute freaking chaos. But in the chaos, we did get Jayden Daniels winning the Heisman. We both figured that was going to be the case. Yep. But any takeaways from the Heisman Trophy ceremony? I do love hearing all the like family stuff and them being highlighted and things like that. But any takeaways that you had from the Heisman ceremony?
You know what the takeaway is people are very mixed in how they care about the ceremony anymore. When I mean that, like the build-up. And I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Eddie Fowler does an amazing job. I think that's like he makes something really difficult look really, really easy. But I like the appreciation. I think everybody has an interesting path. I thought this was a particularly interesting Heisman year, and I think they'll be very interesting moving forward. But I like it. And so, but people don't, right? Like,
people get annoyed.
My Twitter feed was all over the place. Like, just get to it. No, it's a very nice, very casual, knows exactly what it is. The Heisman drives me fucking crazy in so many ways. The hour does not.
Yeah. Well, and I also appreciate too the time and the effort that the journalists that are with these families and like the time they spend with them really allows them like individual time and to get to know them and to be able to report on those things. I find it very fascinating, kind of like the draft. Like I know we have all these conversations and things like that, and we get tired of some of the repetitive storylines. that you hear, like that DeVito's mom makes his bed. We get it. But there's something that's like still kind of cool about that. That's cool about sports is that you get to hear these stories and you get to find out the background of these kids. Still, technically, not unless you're paying bonus, not really, but it's cool to hear about their story. So I really appreciated the ceremony. But yeah, the transfer portal has honestly taken over my timeline because it's like a mix of like this is terrible and this is great. We've already got a couple commitments of big names. Riley Leonard from Duke going to Notre Dame. It's been a little nuts. We had Tyler Van Dyke to Wisconsin literally like a couple minutes ago. So
what?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's got. Well, keep going, and then we can lean in. We can lean
my
into
thing
all
is
these.
just there's so much going on that like we're obviously not going to be able to talk about each individual player. There's so many in there. I do want to talk about Ohio State because I know Kyle McCord is leaving, and I know there's a decent amount of players leaving Ohio State. There's been conversation around that, but where do you want to start with the transfer portal? And are you annoyed with this is because I think we've been doing this long enough where it's like I'm kind of cool with like, hey, this is a part of the game and a part of college football. Like, let's just lean into it and follow it, and that's fine. But I still find on my Twitter feed, my X feed, that there's a lot of people still very annoyed with the, quarterback market, quote.
It is hard to follow, and I think, I have no issue with it either. Let me preface by saying that. I think this is, and maybe I'm just numb to it. It's good for content, by the way. Let's be very honest and selfish here. It's good for this podcast. It's good for Bleacher Report. It's good for us because it gives us stuff to talk about. So we play a role in this, right? For sure. But I can understand where people would be a little annoyed. All that being said, right, we keep doing this thing where we man, college football is broken, the playoff and the transfer portal. There are more minutes watched this year than any college football game or any college football season ever. By the way, just as a quick, speaking of which, Army-Navy was fucking electric, and the season ended on a safety. And did you have a total in this game? Did you have completely sideways?
I just watched this as this is fun to watch from the beginning, but there was also an Arizona basketball game on, so I will say that I tuned into that.
The season ended on an intentional safety, which for me, the over gave me a push for the over. Tremendous. Okay. Tremendous. I mean, one of the greatest gambling moments in history. One of the greatest games ever. In me, it was it was hilarious. So the sport is thriving, and the sport, the NBA, kind of, was the first to do this and do it well. College football, because there's so many ravenous fan bases, and because you can change your fortune so quickly.
Yes.
I think it's great. Like the Wisconsin news. You told me Van Dyke to Wisconsin. That is wild. I have to process that. That's a really interesting and a really good fit. I love that. I don't know if it'll work, but I love it.
And I think with anything, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And we've kind of been talking about this of this is going to figure itself out. Transfer portal is going to be chaos. Still kind of is. They've set guidelines on when, there's windows now. So it's a lot easier to manage from a roster perspective. Coaches are now looking at their rosters from a year to year, perspective instead of the kind of, okay, we've got this guy for this many years. We'll bring in a recruit. This is what we need recruiting wise. It's different. It's year to year. They're going to go based on that instead of kind of planning long term, which makes it harder and is an adjustment. But I feel like that people are getting used to it. And I think now that we've seen so many quarterbacks, the other one that I did want to talk about is DJ leaving Oregon State, and possibly taking a visit to Florida State. And so it is very fascinating to me that we're seeing some of these names that we've already seen transfer, and there's still a lot of movement. If you were a coach, would you rather take, a transfer portal guy, or do you think you would want to stick to a guy that you're bringing from high school that's kind of sat behind somebody that you already had and had kind of that expert time? I know it's probably situational in a lot of cases, but do you have an issue with people that are in the transfer portal so much? Because I know there's a bunch of quarterbacks that are going to be transferring multiple times this coming year.
That question is a perfect time to talk about Nebraska, because right now, and I'm not just saying that for neighbor Jason, who in my text is excited. So everybody does.
Okay, so he does know the
listen.
news. And he does know. Okay.
Well, he is excited because they're trying to do
By the
both.
way, did you text
right?
him that news?
Which news?
The Van Dyke news?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I didn't know if you texted him while we were doing this live report.
No. For Nebraska is trying to bring in Kyle McCord.
Okay.
And they're potentially flipping in Dylan Raiola. So here's this is wild. Now what I find really interesting, Matt Rule like a couple of weeks ago said like, hey, the going rate for a transfer QB is $1 million.
So you go after Ohio State's.
So then you basically do that. So what's really interesting about this age of NIL and the transfer portal, schools like Miami, schools like Nebraska, these very proud schools with big budgets, boosters, basically, that are willing to back them. Obviously, A&M, others, are going to have some success. Miami, despite the lack of on-field success, has had some really good success here. Nebraska starting to make some headway. So I'm really interested to see where Nebraska falls in this, because we are kind of resident Nebraska. I'm a Nebraska fan by like osmosis, which is weird to say as an Iowa fan. But I am either picking for or against Nebraska, it feels like every single week. But in terms of this time, exactly what you allude to, they're kind of trying to do both things. You have really big recruiting people that are saying, hey, the best quarterback, or one of the best quarterbacks in the country is going to Nebraska. He's got some ties, right? Family ties. And oh, by the way, one of the best available players might go there too. Mm-hmm. That's not cheap, right? Let's be honest. So what do? You do whatever is capable. The problem is when you bring in a quarterback that's a recruit, you're probably going to lose him, right?
Yeah.
Like unless he plays right away and plays well, like that's the reality, I think, to recruiting these days.
Yeah, it's definitely shaking things up. And I find it, so another quarterback that's on the transfer portal blogs, I would say, that's what I would call them, trackers, the blogs these days, is Cam Ward. And from Washington State, and there's a bunch of different places that he's been. I think Miami is on that list of one of them. Ohio State definitely could be in the conversation.
That would be fun.
And Ohio State, that's the thing is like, okay, to be fair, so I do want to talk about Ohio State. They did have like 14 players enter the transfer portal, and I saw a lot of panic everywhere. Only 3 of those were starters, so I don't think it's like that big of a panic mode. But not having a quarterback, kind of like that's kind of been a little bit of the missing piece the last couple of years, specifically this last year. No offense to Kyle, but
no.
Yeah, offensively Ryan Day needs a really good quarterback.
He also, I mean, you're right, for the portal, but they're losing 2 first-round wide receivers.
Yep.
They're losing a fair amount to the draft. So in totality, it's a problem. But the quarterback, like, yes, they're going to get one of these QBs. Right. Yeah. And I don't know, McCord leaving to me was a signal that they had other plans in mind. Like that was like a
that
separation.
They do have someone. Okay. That they've got something lined up.
You would have thought that would have happened by now.
Yeah.
I would have thought, you know what I mean? So who knows? Because this is a game of musical chairs. We saw Oregon go and get Dylan Gabriel. And that is, by the way, he's huge. Immediately, I think, one of the favorites to win the Heisman. Like, if you're looking at next year, and I'll play this game, it's him, it's Jalen Milroe, it's
another guy who's transferred multiple times. Yeah, if you're a quarterback, it also, like, if you have a kid in high school who's like a quarterback, do you just like assume that now they're gonna transfer a few times? Like, just to
well, this is
you know
it.
What I mean?
Like Arch Manning staying is a big deal, right? Like Arch Manning not leaving Texas is like, whoa, what's he doing? Like, and so what does that mean? Like, right?
What
like,
it means is you have the luxury of having that last name and it not affecting your draft stock if you sat behind them or are being patient with your process.
I think it's cool.
That's what that means.
You're right. Yeah, he has a luxury unlike anybody.
Where like the conversation around his draft stock and if his character and all of that, that'll be more of what they focus on. Oh, he stayed. And his skill is definitely he's definitely under scrutiny as well, because we talked about how, like, when he was going through the recruiting process, it was a lot. Like, the coverage of it was a little excessive, and they seemed to not really want any part of that as, like, a family. So, it is a little strange that he is sticking it out, but I agree.
That's news,
I think
right?
It's smart. Yeah.
It's news that he's not going anywhere, and that is the state. Riley Leonard.
What if you're Ohio State and you're just like, Arch, we will give you.
Here, you get equity, right? Like somehow. Now, I want to talk about Riley Leonard.
Yes.
So I don't know about that. I like him a lot. I think he plays. Why are you already smirking? Like you're already like this is the time where Adam shits on Riley Leonard. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna kind of.
He got hurt for God's sake.
No, he's a really fun
can't
player.
Say that. He's going to Notre Dame.
But if Marcus Freeman needs a huge year, and they're losing some linemen, and like I don't know if that's the guy.
Their offensive line, by the way, was like very, very good. So that is something to factor in.
I don't know. I like him a lot. I think it's a very high profile move. Not necessarily where I would have gone portal-wise.
It was weird though because like that was like the immediate thing when it was announced that he was going in the transfer portal. I was like Notre Dame, that's where he's going.
So how Sam Hartman was too, by the way. It was like the same thing. Like, yep, that's him, right there. So I mean, good. Notre Dame needed a proven player, but like, yeah, I mean, this is how this is going to go. So back to your original
injury
point,
too, like you just never know.
And DJ at Florida State has all sorts of like that's just again we're going to do the Clemson thing, right? I don't know. I'm assuming they like that's just strange if that ends up there. I want to protect
him at all costs. I don't want him to go to Florida State. That because at Oregon State he was safe. Like I know it sounds bad, but like at Clemson,
I agree.
It was hard to watch people be so because I think too we have failed some of these kids in the recruiting process by putting so much pressure and hype on them. Yes, of course, some of them are really, really great, but it was hard to watch at Clemson, especially because he wasn't being utilized to the best of his ability, and it wasn't all of his fault. Did he not play well there? Yes. But at Oregon State, it was a little bit softer of a fan base, and that going to Florida State is not that. It's not that whatsoever, and I think the mental aspect of it would be very difficult if he went to Florida State. I mean, great for him. He'd be making great money, for sure. But also, do you want to go to a place where you would get, like, there's no respect for that brand currently?
No,
amongst the committee, not amongst all of us.
No, well, yeah. I mean, look at me. Look what I'm wearing. Like, there's like a lack of respect.
You look like you're from Florida. You look like you're a Florida man.
I feel like I am a Florida man, which I've got some Florida man tendencies.
Okay, some, but not a lot. Let's just.
No, I like to have a good time. Like I'm not. I've got some there. But I do look it right. Like this has got like. New Grand Theft Auto trailer is out. Like, there's some Vice City vibes to this.
I love how that trailer came out. By the way, I only know this because I have a brother. It came out, and then the game doesn't come out until like 2025 or something.
Yeah, game design
is ridiculous.
By the way,
you need Hypervice. Do you know what those are? They're glasses. No. Look them up.
No. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what they.
Pit
Vipers.
A little birdie.
Hypervice.
Tells me that if you're interested in a certain football video game series, that you will probably have some things to regurgitate between now and January 8th. A little birdie says that.
Oh, tweet, scoops.
Look. Now, this game's supposed to come out in July, right? Right. I mean,
yes.
so as someone that is wearing a golden T-shirt. That knows this development world, like I've spoken to in the past, like this shit scares me. I get anxiety for them. Like that's gonna come fast, and
that is gonna
talk
come
about
fast.
An unenviable job, right? Like so, NCAA used to have put together these rosters, and they're doing it now. We assume, even though the compensation and all that's still fucked up. Could you imagine have to do their job,
no.
right? Like no, this thanks. Is like it's really really. Gives me anxiety. However, I'm just saying, keep on the lookout. Maybe not this week, but I have a feeling we're going to hear some stuff. I have a feeling, I don't know how much stuff, but I have a feeling there will be some things. The internet will be very, very happy. Like that?
You heard it here first. I do like that. I like when you have scoops. And you surprise me with the scoops. By the way, they're called Pit Vipers, the glasses, the Hypervice. This shows you how old I am. That is the type of Theragun that I have.
Okay. Fair enough.
So like
scoops.
Yeah, so like what? Why? I just would like to point out that like I cannot believe that I'm that old that I mixed up the
Name
name.
another college football podcast that can cover both subjects together, a video game and that. Like you can't. Your football podcast could not.
Your favorite college football podcast could never. Could never. But we should talk about bowl games. I mean, I do want to mention Drake May did declare for the draft. Yay.
Oh,
well,
God.
I don't want to talk about it yet. Let me just take the time to not be annoyed with the already starting Caleb Drake discussion. Well, and it's so why are we doing this still? Why?
I've had, because I'm in Chicago, right? And the Bears are probably picking number 1. I've had 2 of those discussions from today from people who have said, all right, who we got?
Who we take? Yeah.
And so, and my answer is, I have no idea. And what, you know what really, it's I don't want to have the discussion, but let's have the prelude to the discussion. Bryce Young versus CJ Stroud makes this even more complicated. Like I do think now, because Bryce Young was definitive number 1, and Bryce Young I think is going to be fine, by the way. But this we really like Bryce Young.
Yes.
CJ Stroud, who could do nothing against my Jets, has looked amazing this year. So all of a sudden, I think you have these. What?
The other part of this is that quarterback that played for the Jets too.
Oh,
we're talking about draft conversations, and like, look, great game on his end there, but we just don't know.
Is fucking hard. But I think locally already people are like, so who's it? Like, first off, drafting quarterbacks is like roulette, in my opinion, uneducated, but that's going to be exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be exhausting
already, and that's why I was like, I don't want to talk about it. We can say that he is gone, and
great player, a lot of fun.
Player.
2 years, really, really enjoy. Like, we will miss him. That is a very a guy that lost some really weird games, but really produced, and obviously is going to be a huge get. So him and Caleb, there you go, poof. Like, curious what that did to their spreads. I have turned to my locks for this week, which we're going to talk about the bowl season. But I've been pretty quiet on the bowl front. Now things start to get serious. Now we get to play our favorite game. Do you want to do that now?
Yes, we can.
Point spread. Now, so some of these games are kind of bullshit. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Okay, we are only going to preview the games up until the 21st. Yeah. Because we do have another podcast coming out, so we'll do the other games after that. But I only looked at the bowl schedule. I did not look at DraftKings to get any idea of what any of these things are. Yes. And spread-wise, because I wanted to play Guess That Spread, which is a lot harder, by the way, during bowl season, because you've got a lot of players that sit out and things like that. Coaches that leave, all the things.
And also, like, there are teams in this early part here where, we're being honest, like, there's like, not only are these teams like 6-6 or 7-5, they've lost players. Like, it's hard. I'm trying to. I want to, like,
you're being nice about it.
I'm protecting you from the fucking shitheads. Okay.
Yeah. Did you know that? I didn't know there was a bowl hosted by Gronk. I thought there was a Jimmy Kimmel one. But I didn't know that there was
the actual Gronk Bowl.
So I wish it was called the Gronk Bowl, but it is the Starco Brands LA Bowl hosted by Gronk.
The other tradition that we have on this podcast is me reading the bowls and butchering them every single time. For some reason.
My favorite is the
Casparella Bowl or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, that one. The Avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl.
I don't know why.
Radiance Technology Independence Bowl. The famous Toastery Bowl.
These are hard to see. I feel like I'm going to fuck these up anyways.
Guys, the famous Idaho Potato Bowl still stands, which is really all that matters. But we got the Pop-Tart Bowl this year instead of the Cheez-It Bowl. But don't we have Cheez-It Bowls that are other things? There's so many.
I've seen that. There is so many.
Let me see.
Here we go.
Duke's
there it is.
Mayo
The
Bowl,
22nd.
not featuring.
The Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. Fuck yeah. The 76 Birmingham. We'll get there. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right.
Yeah, these are all later on. But I just love looking at the name. The Pop-Tarts Bowl, the Wasabi Fenway Bowl.
It's great. And I am going to pull up my locks. I got to remember which ones. No, wait. Did they come out yet?
Alamo Bowl, baby. I can't wait to preview that game.
The Alamo Bowl always delivers.
Cats.
I got to make sure. Yes. But they're perfect for that. They are a chaos.
Let's start with Saturday,
team.
December 16th. We've got
Saturday.
Yes,
I am going to be. I'm going to the zoo. I'm going to the zoo with my family.
Wow.
But I will be back Saturday night. We also have a good UFC card. Saturdays are very exciting.
So I will be at an Ugly Sweater bar crawl, and we'll definitely be tuning into these intoxicating. So the tweets will. So young and no kids yet. So, but we've got Georgia Southern versus Ohio.
The Myrtle Beach Bowl. Georgia Southern versus Ohio. Ohio is 9-3. They were a very good story. And frankly, down the stretch, played 4 out of the last 5 games they won. This is a decent game. Do you have a guess that point spread answer?
Well, I'm guessing Ohio is favored.
Incorrect.
What?
See, I know. This is what I mean. So
I'm guessing the spread is only like 3.5 points or 4.
It is exactly 3.5 points. So you're off to a good start, even though I gave you a little help. So Jordan, here's why it's
still. I was able to get the extra, and still I got it.
So Georgia Southern, though, they started off 4-1. They lost to Wisconsin. They beat Coastal Carolina, and then they lost their last 4 games. But it was Texas State, Marshall, Old Dominion, who's pretty good. Those were close, and then they got absolutely worked by App State. Do you have a lean in this game? I actually kind of lean Georgia Southern for the reason that you mentioned. It's a little bit of a contrarian game. Like we don't have to have a pick on every. I will. I'm gonna bet every fucking game.
Yeah, me too. Probably. I'll probably do like same day parlays and just like go all out. Put like $1 to win 2,000.
But it's good. Yeah. You know what I noticed, by the way, in New York, you're kind of a silent gambler, but not in a bad way. But like you go to the lab, right? And you put up like the do not disturb sign, and you're in your lab, and then you'll put your phone down. And you'll be like, "That's it." I like
and
that.
I'll just I'll look at it. Yeah, and I'll look at it when the game's over. I won't check to make sure. So I've hit more when I was in Arizona. I was there a couple weeks ago. I did horrible. I won one bet. It was on Arizona basketball, but other than that, I'm terrible. I'm actually way better at betting on the NFL than I am college football, which is like kind of funny. Because I think I overthink all the spreads, but I'm better at totals for college football this year. But yeah, when I bet things, like I do it quietly and I don't get anyone's opinion on it. And then I'm like, oh, by the way, this is what I bet. And by the way, I won quite a bit of money doing that. So people, you know how like people will be mad that you don't like hit the group chat with your bets? I feel like sometimes it's a little bad juju. So I don't want to do that sometimes. But
I appreciate that. I got another game for you. This is also on Saturday is a good. The games get
kind
good.
Of a fun one.
It is. So the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. Do you know how hard I'm trying to do this? Like. Without fucking up. I'm trying really hard. You've got Louisiana in the New Orleans Bowl, of course, and Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State 8-4. Little Rich Rodriguez, and you've got Louisiana, who is 6-6.
Okay, so you now, because you said Rich Rodriguez, now you know where I'm leaning towards this. I'm taking Jacksonville State. I don't care what the spread is, but if I had to guess what the spread is, I would say that it is 6 in favor of Jacksonville State.
It is 3.5. But
wow.
But you said it with such conviction, and this is good for you. You're lagging a little less than you thought.
Yeah.
So I kind of agree with you on this one. The total, I don't want to skip over the total. Total in this one is a robust 59.5. It's a big total.
Robust.
It is it's the biggest total of Saturday. I think I'm riding with you here too, by the way. Okay. Next game. And this is where they start to get good. They're all good. We love all bowls. By the way, they're down a little rant. There are never enough bowl games. Make more bowl games.
And there's never bad bowl games. When they're bad, they're good.
If you feel that way, go bet. Fuck off.
Start betting.
Let's bet. Sure. I don't know. Like I don't have time for that nonsense. Of course, we love all these bowls. Miami of
Okay.
Ohio versus Appalachian State in the Avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl. I almost fucked it up. I
love this.
God damn it.
I love bowl season. And honestly, like, what a fun game, actually.
Well, and so Miami of Ohio is 11-2. App State is 8-5. But of course, it's a little bit of a.
But of course, it's App
scheduling
State.
wise, it's App State. So let me make sure I got the updated line here. I do. Now, who do you believe is favored, first of all?
Based on record, I would say
Careful
Miami
now.
of Ohio, but I think that App State, because it's App State, is favored.
They are favored.
By, hold on. By 2.5?
6.5.
What?
It's a big number. I know.
Wow.
So yeah, I
That
agree
is
with
straight
you
up.
on this
That
one.
is straight up. Okay, let me just say that is straight up because people who gamble on college football and have ever gambled on App State have probably won money, and like that is just people straight up believing in App State and their ability to win them money, and that's why I think they're favored.
Miami of Ohio won. They lost week 1 to Miami, 38-3. They lost to Toledo 21-17 during the year, and then they won the MAC. They beat Toledo.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. This team is good. They're a good defensive team.
I maybe take them to cover, maybe not win, but cover, because that 6.5 is a lot of points.
It's I don't know on this one. The App State, so the total is 44.5. Like crap. Yeah, this can be a low scoring. I don't have a great vibe for this one. I can't do that. I got to bet. I may take App State though. This line is a little aggressive for me, and I don't know.
It is. It's aggressive for me too. I thought it was gonna be lower than the other ones.
Yes. Okay. We keep going because I could talk about this all day. We'll just be here all day. The Isleta. What is it? Is that a brand? Isleta?
I don't even know.
Isleta, New Mexico Bowl? What is Isleta? Let's figure that out together. I-S-L-E-T. Isleta. It's a casino? No.
You're like, wait, I should know this. Oh no.
Hold on. That'd be a sad state of affairs. I think it's a casino. Well,
in New Mexico?
Isleta, New Mexico. Not the New Mexico Bowl.
Well,
I don't think it's a casino. NewMexicoBowl.com. I go on their Facebook page.
History sponsor. New title sponsor. It looks like a casino because it has like the tribal in Albuquerque. It could be.
Well,
Let's see. The bowl.
I like this website though.
History. Can I get it?
That's what I'm on too. I don't know. I'll stay on it.
Go to 2015. Oh,
What,
do
for
they
history?
not have it? They don't have it. Wow. But 2015, go take a look at 2015.
Where is it if they don't have? Oh, on the team.
They have it at the list. They don't have the video. I
Of
wish they had the
course.
video. But it was
This is
Arizona.
all-
By the way,
yes.
it was December 15th. I remember it.
A new
2014.
Solomon. I do remember that. I do remember
This,
that. Yeah.
It was a crazy game, okay? But it also was the same day that Arizona basketball played Florida at home in a non-conference game. My gosh, we won both games. It's like the greatest day.
This is what Jake Heaps, BYU, Connor Halliday, Washington State, a new Solomon, Jordan Love. Oh, I love this shit. Wow. Okay, wow. Scooby Wright. Speaking of
Scooby
Arizona,
Wright, that
one
was
of
a
my favorite-
Scooby Wright game.
What a great player he was.
Scooby Wright was
All
the
right,
reason
all right.
we won that game. I go watch the end of, if you get the chance, go on YouTube and watch the end of that
Is
game.
this a casino though? Is this a
It's
casino?
just a casino.
Are we,
We're still trying to figure that out. I think
we're,
it is.
We're gonna go with yes. All right. So the game. I gotta make sure I'm looking at the right game. Okay, I am, and this is a fire game. Fresno State, New Mexico State. Love me, Jerry Kill. New Mexico State actually cost me a shit ton of money this year because I bet against them for some reason a lot. Fresno State, New Mexico State. What do you think?
I'll take okay. New Mexico State favored.
And the total is 51. New Mexico State is favored.
And the total is what?
Total is 51.
Okay, so I'm going to go that they're favored by more than a touchdown.
No.
No? So 4.5?
New Mexico State is 4.
Okay.
4. New Mexico State -4. Total has come down. This is a lot for me. I like the over here, although I'm a little nervous. Fresno State had a weird fucking year, man.
I'm taking one New Mexico over, and it burned me. I think it was because I saw that they scored a shit ton of points during the regular season in a game before that, and I remember just 1 week being like, all right, this is some shit.
Fresno State beat UNLV and Boise State in back-to-back weeks. Both teams are really good. Like, good group of 5 teams. They lost 42-18 against San Jose State. I had San Jose State there. They lost to New Mexico 25-17. No good. And then they lost at San Diego State by double digits. Weird year. I still like the over. It's a weird season, though. I don't know.
All right.
Would you like to go to the Starco Brands LA Bowl?
Hosted by Gronk. UCLA or Boise State. UCLA playing without their starting quarterback.
Yeah, except like they kind of like did this shit all year where they went back and forth.
Yeah.
It's a good game, actually. This is an interesting game. So what are your thoughts on the line?
Okay. UCLA is probably favored.
They are.
3.5?
4. Nice work. Some fine work. 49.5 is the total.
I'll take UCLA.
I would agree.
Okay.
I gotta make sure I didn't pick locks any differently. I hate to I gotta be like, yeah, I like that. And then like on the internet, I actually pick the exact opposite thing. It terrifies me to do it. I've done it before. Okay. The last game
on Saturday
of Saturday. It's a good one. Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl. Do you like how official it is?
Yeah.
Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl. We've got Cal and we've got Texas Tech. Total is 58. I'll give you the total.
I bet. Texas Tech is favored, I'm sure.
They are.
By a decent amount, correct?
Yeah. No.
Really?
Yeah.
Not about Cal having that last stretch here that they're Wilcox saving his game or his job.
They were fun this year, by the way.
So yes.
I mean,
so Texas Tech by 3.
It is 2.5, but in locks I had Cal +3, so
plus
it's come
3.
down a little
okay.
bit. Cal, by the way, 6-6 in this Pac-12 is pretty fucking good.
Well,
right?
Especially they've had like a roller coaster of a year. Also, almost beating Auburn, huge.
They almost beat Auburn. They got absolutely smoked by Washington. Beat Arizona State. Played a competitive fucking fun game with Oregon State. Smoked by Utah. Should have beat USC. Smoked by Oregon. And then ended beating Washington State, Stanford, and UCLA. 2 of those games on the road. Pretty good.
Yep.
Offensively, a lot better.
That UCLA Cal game was actually a very good game. I think it was a Friday night game actually. And it ended pretty well.
So I like Cal in this game. I think they're
all right.
I think they've been Texas Tech has been another team with a weird year. But Cal is in the locks for me.
Okay.
All right, what do we have? We have 2 more games, right? We said the
3.
20th is the cutoff.
21st.
So we're doing 21st.
Our
okay,
next episode will come out. Oh, I guess we don't do the 21st, but we can.
All right, so we've got the famous Toastery Bowl. What is that? That's a
I
good
know.
one.
I just want to read the last four or last three. Famous Toastery Bowl, Scooter's Coffee Frisco Bowl, and the Roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl. Woo!
Yeah. College football is just like a gigantic money laundering scam. That's what it feels like. All right. We've got Western Kentucky versus Old Dominion.
Okay.
This is Monday, December 18th at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. Like, you don't want to compete with Monday Night Football. Like, most people are working next week, right? Like, I don't want to now, actually. But so like 1:30, like a week before Christmas, you're going to just plop a bowl game in the middle of the fucking day. Where are they even playing this? It is
it's in
Charlotte.
North Carolina. Yeah.
Okay, it's in Charlotte. I got to tell my folks to go to this game. This is a perfectly good game for them to go see. There will not be a lot of stadium shots in this game, okay? Like, there will not.
To be fair, though, I think if you live in Charlotte, North Carolina, you should request a day off and be like, hey, we should go to a bowl game. There's an afternoon bowl game. It's an evening, technically.
Yes.
There, it'd be 5:30 Eastern, you know?
Old Dominion had a pretty feisty season. They lost to Virginia Tech. They almost beat Wake Forest, if you remember that. They should have beat Marshall. They beat App State. They almost beat Coastal, smoked by Liberty, and then they beat Georgia Southern and Georgia State to end the year.
Hold on, I want to give them credit for something. All right, here we go.
Okay, go ahead.
I did Old Dominion, okay, because let's see. Old Dominion linebacker made a FBS best 170 tackles, including 19.5 for loss and 4.5. So that is Jason Henderson.
That's
I just
nutty.
wanted to give him credit because I saw that he was in like our crazy facts for the year, and you wouldn't think Old Dominion would be where a guy like that is in terms of tackle leaders, in terms of FBS.
Is he in the portal, by the way?
Is he in the portal? Now that I know, we should actually look. We should literally look. Well, who knows? He could be. Let's look. Not seeing any portal news. All-American. He misses a bowl game. Oh, wait, he misses a bowl game with injury. So he won't play in your bowl game. So
I've got a little breaking news.
Yes.
You ready for this? I know we're in mid-bowl game. This is not bowl game news. So this is our breaking. Did you actually hear that? Like, did that come through?
It did.
Okay. The state of Florida is officially suing the college football playoff committee. Officially. By the way, any sentence that starts with the state of Florida could end in so many places. Like, I could go anywhere.
I bet you the attorney for this case is wearing that shirt.
Yes. Attorney General Ashley Moody. We are launching an investigation to examine if the committee was involved in any anti-competitive conduct in its unprecedented decision to exclude FSU. They were sent to subpoena, and what a waste of fucking time. This is so embarrassing.
Oh
so
my
embarrassing.
God.
This is so fucking embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for you. What a waste of time and money. Like,
trying to find the tweet for it. I was looking, but
fucking go work on a road or help society.
Worry about the Gators.
Go fucking man.
Suing college playoff committee.
It's just so stupid. It's levels of stupid. This is this shirt in a tweet. So I'm like, and I love this shirt.
We just need a compilation of all of the clips of us talking about your shirt for this recap of this episode.
I back to what matters.
Let's go back to the Bulls.
Old Dominion, Western Kentucky. We got a small line.
Small line? 3?
Well, it's 2.5 in Old Dominion's favor. The total is 55.5. I kind of like Old Dominion. I think Old Dominion, yeah, it's a big total, actually. I know, it jumped out to me, too.
A little bit of the under vibes.
A little under? Okay.
Little under vibes.
I'm in. A little under vibes. I'm in. I could be in on that, too. That's a big number. All right. Good game here. Well, actually, probably not a good game based on the point spread. Scooter's Coffee, Frisco Bowl. Have you ever had Scooter's Coffee?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
What is Scooter's Coffee? Let's take a little look.
You learn a bunch of brands when you're
Scooter's Coffee.
Scooter's Coffee. Let's see. Do they want to?
Their tagline is "Be amazing."
Wow. First of all, their website looks very Christmassy.
It's very nice. Very
Hey,
nice.
Scooters, if you would like to
T-shirt only $12.99.
sponsor a pod about us.
Aw. It's a very pleasant website.
This is a very Scooters co-founded journey in Bellevue, Nebraska. We talk enough Nebraska football on here that
Fucking
I think
Scooters, let's go.
If Scooters wants to sponsor the pod, we would support. They look very sweet and kind. And I'm down for...
It's in Frisco, Texas. I thought it would maybe be in Nebraska. Like Lincoln, like whatever.
Oh, like locations?
Yeah, it's in Frisco. Toyota Stadium.
That's it? Oh, it's in Frisco.
Oh.
I thought you meant... Yeah, they have... Looks like they have some in Iowa, Nebraska. I'm looking at locations of just where... Yeah, a lot of Nebraska.
Tickets as low as $43.
Kansas. Okay,
it's so nice, Scooters, you're doing well.
Scooters Coffee, hit us up.
UTSA, Marshall.
Okay.
Again, UTSA. This is one of the bigger point spreads that I think we've seen in the bowl season, by the way. UTSA started off 1-3. They lost to Houston. They beat Texas State. Lost to Army. Got absolutely crushed by Tennessee. And then from there, Harris was hurt, who I think is playing in this game. Like, it's his final collegiate game. He's been like a really fun player to watch. So UTSA, what do you think is the favorite in this one?
I would guess
big?
you.
I said that so
how
poorly.
big? Yeah. Is it?
I know what you're going to ask. It's hot. It is 12. It's 13. It's up to 13.
Wow.
It's a big number. Actually, is this the biggest spread? No, it is not. We have a. I see at least one game with a bigger spread, but it is up there, and I think it's the second biggest spread of the year.
I was going to say these spreads feel very, very close for bowl season. I feel like the last couple of years we've gotten some like large spreads. Maybe it's just because
I locked in
UTSA
at -10.
Okay.
So I got them early. I still like them at 13. I think this is put on a show. Jeff Traylor too, by the way, who's been interviewing, doesn't look like he's going anywhere. I mean, he interviewed for A&M, and maybe I don't know. We got like a just not, but I think he's got something to prove here too. That's my angle on this one.
Gotcha. We'll save the Thursday, December 21st bowl game. I wonder why there's not a game on the 20th. Like, it's a Wednesday, so it doesn't conflict with any.
Is there Thursday night football on the Thursday? Like, I'm assuming they're colliding with the NFL. I would assume on Thursday there'd be an NFL game.
Yeah, but there is going to be a Thursday game.
Why wouldn't they do that on Wednesday? It's very strange.
Very, very strange. But we will do the roof claim because it's also at 8 p.m. So I figure if you listen to the pod that day, you will have that pick. Yeah. That's why the only reason I was going to move it on to this one. But we'll save it. We will save it. Just so we could also get you to... I'm going to make you just go through and say the names of all of these. These are really fantastic.
I did pretty good today. I only kind of almost fucked up one.
Yeah, I mean...
That's progress.
And I think Scooter is by far our favorite, besides the one that's being hosted by Gronk.
May or may not be a casino. Like, may or may not
the
be
one
a
we
casino.
don't know. Hey, New Mexico Bowl, let us know.
I guess.
I liked it better when it was the Gildan, but who knows? Casinos are cool.
Casinos are cool. Is there anything else? That was fun. I enjoy that game a lot.
I love looking at bowl games. They're just so random.
It's so great. It is. It is great.
Any random shit that you've got going on holiday-wise? Do you have kids programs that you're going to, or any holiday
I've got
things?
One. Okay. We saw Santa this weekend.
And how'd it go?
It was $60 to see Santa.
What?
So Santa was wonderful. It was good to see Santa again. But it was like the Christmas Story version in the local mall. I hadn't been to the mall in a while.
Wow.
Good to see those are still kicking it. And they got to go down the slide at the end, and then like we get the pictures. I mean, but
was it like $20 a kid?
I don't even know.
Or is it just $60 for like
I
one
just
group?
handed a card of some kind, and we got some photos, and I'm not quite sure, but like Santa is living well.
Yeah,
and,
Santa in inflation really, and he's got to keep the elves working. But I would guess,
yeah, I get it.
Did all of your kids, or have all of your kids always been okay going to see Santa, or has there been one that has?
Oh no, I've got an iconic photo of my daughter Olivia. First time ever, is a ball of tears. This time, this is funny. It may be a little awkward, but this is a funny story. They were very friendly. One might argue too friendly. My youngest Cameron, who's only 4, has his hands on Santa's legs, like just to brace himself, communicating, and he's like having the best time. But we're like that's by his knees. Okay, I want to make sure I'm very clear and careful with the story. But I'm standing there with my wife, like, hey, Cameron, like, buddy, like, I get it. We're close talkers. We're very friendly in this family, but like maybe not.
Santa's
okay,
just,
Santa
good guy.
didn't care. But he was just like very locked in to what they were talking about.
I could just imagine being like, "Okay, this is what I want." Oh,
and we're
I
just
love
like,
that.
do we get him? No.
How has the elf been at your house? Do you have 3 elves?
No, 1.
You have 1 elf.
I have 1 elf.
What's your elf's name?
And Elfie.
Elfie, okay.
And Elfie is word on the street is there are elf pets now. So elf pets, like they have various pets, like dogs, reindeers, and what I'm heard is that there may be a friend showing up to town.
Wow, that is exciting.
Also not cheapest endeavor, but I am excited. Holiday spirit is the last holiday thing I'll say. So each year we buy Lego does like a holiday version of like it's awesome. Like you build a town. We've done this like 5 years in a row. So we have like a little town building of holiday Legos. The part that's most interesting this year is like none of my kids seem interested in doing the Lego. So it's like my decompression like device. Like after dinner, I sit there for 15 minutes. Yeah, like I sit there and I'm like, I do. Like, I'm like, does anyone want to do this? And they're like, no. So I just sit there and do like 15 minutes and make pretty good progress. I will post a picture when it's done. I'm pretty proud.
Yeah. All right.
So,
well, I love that.
That's my random shit.
I do have a children's show this Wednesday. My boyfriend's niece is doing a show, and then on Saturday, Thursday I'm doing Christmas lights with my cousin and her kids, and then Saturday is the Ugly Sweater Bar Crawl. Then Sunday is Christmas cookie making with grandparents and things like that. So there's quite a bit of holiday activity going on. This is like the time that we get to do it is like this week. And then after this week, it kind of starts back up for us again. So it's kind of like one of those things. The week of Christmas is literally that early National Signing Day. So thanks, college football schedule, for making that happen for us.
I know. I don't know if I mentioned the inflatable I bought this year. It's like a $200 giant Santa and reindeer cheersing a beer mug together.
Oh, and I love that.
The arms move and they cheers.
To cheers.
It's the talk of the neighborhood, right?
Wow.
Like, we're actually going to set up a bench so people can take pictures.
So proud of you, Clark.
Yeah, we're turning into that. We're turning into that family, I think. So no, it's been. I do enjoy this time of year. We take a little breath from football, and then bowl season starts, and it's go time. Like it is.
I love this.
I am ready.
All right. Well, I think that is it. So for Paige, for Adam's shirt, this was No Fun Allowed.